Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're first time viewer, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. Now, I mentioned this in the most recent video I did just a little bit ago, because it's 3 a.m. right now. So this will probably go up in the morning or later this morning. But I did a little more digging about the Arizona Coyotes and what exactly is going on. And this a good chunk of this is coming from Elliot Fredman, who, he's an NHL insider. Friedman is talking about how time potentially could be running out for the Arizona Coyotes, because we've already got Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah Jazz. He's talked about his interest in getting a hockey team in Utah, and he's actually asked the NHL to start the expansion process. Now, NHL's not, it's not like the NHL is going to go and say, oh, sure, we're going to start that right now. Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. But as Elliot Fredman said, he said, to me, that's a message to the Arizona Coyotes. The NHL has basically said they need to know about Arizona by the All-Star break. Well, we're a week and a half from the All-Star break, and nothing. Now either the front office of the Coyotes are just that tight-lipped about where they're going to play, or they don't have anything. I don't know. I have no idea. But even the head of the NHLPA, Marty Walsh, has even chimed in on this. And here he's as it says here, the executive director of the NHL Players Association, Marty Walsh, also gave an update on the Coyotes situation. And then in quotes, it's this could mean serious trouble for the team. And Marty Walsh said they were talking about, oh, we're going to find a new place pretty quickly. The year has gone by and they haven't found anything, at least to my knowledge. So the clock is ticking on Arizona, in my opinion. That comes from Marty Walsh, the head of the Players Association. So, again, either the Coyotes' upper brass are just that tight-lipped about where they're going to play, or worst case scenario, they got nothing. And if they have nothing, I think the NHL is finally going to say, all right, let's go. It could be interesting. It could really be interesting, because they want to keep the team. They want to keep the team in Arizona. They've been trying to do this for 30 years. And they were looking at places in Phoenix. There was talk of Scottsdale, places around the either in Phoenix or Phoenix adjacent. Obviously, the arena in Tempe didn't go through, and they're. I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe the Coyotes ownership is just that tight-lipped about what's going on, but I don't know. Elliot Fredman is talking about this. Nobody's heard anything, and that's the thing. We were thinking that hey, after the first of the year, after the first of the year, sometime in January. We're getting toward the end of January. I mean, right now, this is January 26th, and still nothing. So, and yes, the All-Star game is coming up, and yeah, I think Gary Bettman and the NHL are literally saying to the Coyotes, listen, you got a week and a half to come up with something. And if you don't have anything, well, draw your own conclusions what could happen there. And this could be where Salt Lake City, Utah comes in. Because if they're looking for a place to put the Coyotes, if this doesn't pan out, if the Coyotes ownership have nothing, have nowhere to put an arena for Arizona, I think how quickly would the NHL pull them out of Arizona? Would they do it? Would they have them be playing somewhere else next season? What's the timeline here of if they don't have anything, when are you moving them? If you're going to move them, when are you going to do it? I would think that it would be as soon as next season. Okay, where do you go? Obviously, you have Ryan Smith of the Utah Jazz who wants to bring a team to Utah. But the thing is, though, is he's wanting an expansion team. He's wanting a whole new team. He's not wanting a relocation. And honestly, the NHL's not wanting a relocation either. There's way more money in expansion fees than relocation. And of course, this would bring up, if they have to move, if the NHL is going to move them, you need a place for them to play. Where do you move them? That again brings up the Quebec question, because they have an arena all ready to go. It's going to be interesting, but I don't think that they are going to want to move. I don't think they're going to want to. They're not going to want to. The league's not going to want to move them to Quebec. If they're going to move them somewhere, they want to move them to Houston, because if they move them to Quebec, you got to rearrange. You got to rearrange things. You got to take a team out of the East and put them in the West, because you're going to be off balance again. You'll have 17 teams in the East, 15 in the West. That's not going to work. So one team is going to have to move back to the West. Who would that be? Detroit sure as hell doesn't want to do it. Columbus doesn't want to do it. But yet one of those two teams would be the most likely team to get moved, because they're about as close to the West, the western parts of the states. So yeah, I don't know. But obviously, Houston is an option. But again, Houston, it's a basketball arena. It's not made for hockey. This was the problem with the New York Islanders playing at Barclays Center. The sight lines were awful. People would try to be watching a game and they're literally staring at a post or a pole or whatever. You couldn't fit the right amount of seats. It didn't work. It just did not work. Houston will have that same issue. That arena is not built for hockey. And I don't, anywhere that you're going to potentially move the Coyotes, if you're going to be putting them in a basketball stadium, I don't think the fans are going to really like that. Especially, if you're trying to bring in new fans, if you're putting a team in Houston and you want to bring in new fans like that, these new fans aren't going to want to be sitting trying to watch the game behind a pole. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, and of course that's where the whole Quebec thing comes in handy, because they got a hockey arena all ready to go, but I don't know. It's. I mean, I was even starting to wonder, like, weren't the Coyotes supposed to, wouldn't the Coyotes be coming out with a statement finally? Where are they playing? And I've even thought about that the last couple of days, thinking, I haven't heard anything about Arizona and a new and a location for a new arena. So it's going to be interesting to see who's right here. Is it the Coyotes being very tight-lipped on their location, and they're just waiting for like the right time to let everybody know where they're going to be building this arena? Or do they truly have squat? I don't know. It's crazy to think about, that. And again, how quick do you move them? I don't know. How quick would you move the Coyotes out of Arizona if their ownership has nothing? Nobody would want to work with them, whatever. I don't know. Interesting times again going on in Arizona. And again, the team itself on the ice has been doing really well, been doing much better than I think anybody expected. And, they're trying to worry about what they need to worry about on the ice. The upper management is looking like they're putting these guys in a tough spot again. And I don't know. I'd love to know though what you guys think. Could this potentially be the final curtain call for the Arizona Coyotes? Basically, the NHL wants to know by All-Star Weekend. Are the Coyotes going to have anything by All-Star Weekend? Or is it going to be radio silence? I got to think if it's basically radio silence from the Coyotes and the All-Star break comes and goes and there's still nothing, I got to think the NHL might go and say, all right, we're done. We're done here. But we'll have to wait and see. We got about a week and a half before the All-Star break hits, so we'll see what happens we'll see what happens, if they're going to let anybody know if they have a new location for an arena or if they've got diddly squat. I don't know. Marty Walsh of the NHLPA seems to think they got nothing. So we'll find out. We will see as it goes along. I will try and keep track of this as it moves. And again, I'd love to know what you guys think. What's the most likely destination that you think, if they do move the Coyotes as soon as maybe next year, when do you think they would move the Coyotes? Would they do it before next season? Or would they still wait for a while? And if they do move them before next season, where do they go? Where do you think the NHL will put them? Think they put them in Houston? Put them in Utah? Or do they get completely crazy and move them to my preferred location, Quebec? Let me know what you guys think. Please like this video. It would be greatly appreciated and would be very, very awesome. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Again, that would be greatly appreciated and would be absolutely awesome. And if you feel like sharing the video, sharing this video, or any of my unboxing videos, or basically any video on the channel, share. If you feel like you want to share it with your friends, go ahead. If you want to share it with the public, go right ahead. And anything that can help get my videos out to the masses, that would be absolutely awesome, and you guys would be awesome for doing that. So again, let me know what you guys think. Do the Coyotes get moved? Do the ownership of the Coyotes finally come clean on what's going on? Or do we not hear anything? I don't know. We will find out. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys later.